Alright, we live on Instagram. We live on MJMG. What's going on, Miss Jackson? First and foremost, Miss Jackson set it off. We were backstage vibing. Class was in session. Class was in session, y'all. If y'all was able to witness and hear what I had just heard with the brother, Mr. Serv On, who we gonna have on shortly. Music. Like I remember when KRS once said, you know, like, and Nas even reiterated like hip hop was dead. And I don't think hip hop was dead. We was just looking at it. We was looking in the wrong place. Like hip hop is alive and well, and his little brother Rap is running around wilding. Rap is wilding, but hip hop is living wild and real. So shout out to everybody jumping on. Trev Shots, I see you. Timbo, Johnny, nice. That's my big bro. What's going on, Ty, CJ? So today we sitting with Mr. Serv On of No Limit Records. We're gonna talk about that journey, and we're gonna share some artist perspective, and we're gonna go there. Shout out to Define the Culture. He said, "Is it me or you frozen?" For me, everything is on go. Everything's go on my end. Define Culture. So I'm not too sure, but everything is good for me. So let me know if you alright. Reset that. But again, I'm letting a few people come on. I see the crowd is coming in, so shout out to everybody coming on. Direct by Sykes, what's good? Colin, I see you. Salute to everybody jumping on. Today we have, from what I'm saying, he might as well add hip hop historian to his accolades. But we have Mr. Serv On. And for years, what's the beauty of this culture of ours with going on today is I remember having my heart set on this thing called hip hop and loving and seeing in the Source magazine the advertisement for his album and how bigger than life it did and what it presented and his mark for where he come from, and it's dope to see him continue on in his journey. So what we're gonna do real quick, we're gonna go into a video. We're gonna go into a quick video. This song right here, because you know NY to NO, and I'm in NY right now. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of like a play on what's going on. But this is Mr. Serv On featuring Big Pun. We're gonna go into that, and then we're gonna bring Mr. Serv On live on the air. So check this out, y'all. We'll be right back in a second, and we're gonna get on with this show. This is the video.
The Lord is my shepherd, whom shall I be afraid of? The Lord is my strength, whom shall I fear? The Lord is my shepherd, whom shall I be afraid of? The Lord is my strength, whom shall I fear? The Lord is my shepherd, whom shall I be afraid of? The Lord is my strength, whom shall I fear? The Lord is my shepherd, whom shall I be afraid of? The Lord is my strength, whom shall I fear? The Lord is my shepherd, whom shall I be afraid of? The Lord is my strength, whom shall I fear? The Lord is my shepherd, whom shall I be afraid of? Random, slim, whatever they call me, baby, it don't matter. God, man, you left me here in this dark ass room, and I can't find no light. I'm tired of walking in this shit, living amongst all this jealousy and envy.
Terror Squad, No Limit. You know you done fucked up, right? Pun, SCRV, nigga. What up, huh? Nigga, what?
From NY to NO. Motherfucker, biggest size, my motherfucking plaque, nigga, this for show. Y'all don't know? Nigga, Pun represent Terror Squad, I represent the tank. Y'all need to go through the drive-thru, nigga, y'all small change. Nigga, we got the fucking bank. Nigga, XP, have I ever broke rank? Nigga, I can't. Nigga, I come to you motherfucking town, slap the fuck out you, nigga, and show you put a tank on your chest. Who the fuck you playing with, nigga? Why the fuck y'all scared me? See the tank around my neck. Nigga, what you wanna do, nigga? I stay rowdy. Nigga, how the fuck y'all gonna talk about y'all body? Y'all don't know me, that's why y'all can't fuck with me. I was born not to lose, and how the fuck is going in between this bitch? I choose. Nigga, let's play a game of Family Feud. 1, never say my real name. 2, how the fuck you gonna box with a motherfucker like me when you can't take pain? 3, it ain't nothing. That's why I'm fucking with Pun. Nigga, try to get my motherfucking money and get the fucking job done.
Big Stun with the big guns.
Serv on, get your serve on.
New York to New Orleans. Shit is doper than morphine. Hit the streets getting more cream, making on the whole screen. Big Stun with the big guns.
Serv on, getting your swerve on.
New York to New Orleans. Shit is doper than morphine, making all of the whole screen. Ain't nothing but the hardcore. created inside of my laboratory. Why I keep all the raw shit stored in separate corridors. Songs ripping the art of war. Symphonies by Molly Moore. We got it all. War. The squad follows the protocol. Speaking the protocol. I'm the protocol. When you're going to war, cause my death count amount the more overall. So throw the ball. You can't handle the rock. I'm standing your block. If you just hand me the Glock, I'm making a rock like Enro. Block like window. Pop up when you block in the drop top limo. What's the problem? Throw some Espanol in it. Nigga stuttering his pun. No limit. Scared to death. You ain't got no hair in your chest. My shit is Chuck Norris. Look like two bears having sex. That's a lot of hair. Like Samson, I generate my power here. You out of here. Worse than Raul with 200 bottles of beer. It ain't fair. Whoever said life is sweet, you're right for the cheek. Everything was nice in the street. Advice for the weak. Grab the biggest bottles of pills on the shelf and swallow the motherfuckers, cause you better off killing yourself. Next time we are big guns. Serve on, get your serve on. New York to New Orleans. Shit is doper than morphine. Hit the streets getting more cream, making all the whole scream. Big Stein with the big guns. Serve on, get your swerve on. New York to New Orleans. Shit is doper than morphine, making all of the whole scream.
Shit, nigga, I had to come motherfucking 2,000 miles just to make you bitch ass niggas understand. Terror Squad, no limit. Real shit, nigga. Soldiers, slaves. This nigga here, I got the biggest motherfucking man on the coast, nigga. Fun, nigga. You fuck a lot, I blast a lot. Put that together, nigga. Ain't nothing but money, baby. Ain't nothing but money and shit.
Shout out to everybody jumping on. That was Mr. Serv On, NY to NO featuring Pun. So without further ado, before we even go, I want to send a shout out to everybody. Marty, I see you. Yo, Tony Bosco, I see you. Yo, O, I see you. I want to send a big shout out before we get the show on for is if you see Old, ABB, Old, shout out to Gabby. I see you. Salute. We got talent in the building. We got artistry in the building. But shout out to you. I want to send that special shout out. But without further ado, we have an artist that's on with us right now. And this artist, I could say millions of records, but one thing I would say, the culture of hip hop, I watch a lot of our pioneers either get stuck in a time zone and can't morph into now and incorporate what hip hop meant then and now and still translate the culture. And just seconds before the show, this is why I was late. I would only say we was late because I was vibing backstage with the brother. We was going, he took me through some history, but without further ado, let's bring on to the stage Mr. Serv On. What's going on, my brother?
Oh man, just blessed to be alive, man. You know, we just went through this hurricane, so you know we survived again, and I'm just happy to be here, man.
I respect it. I'm glad all is well on that end and continue to be well. As we were backstage vibing with the music, there's no doubt that you still can hang out and bang with today's music. But I do wanna take this time to actually take it back a little bit and talk about your journey into, you know, this music industry and what led into, you know, the Mr. Serv On we know as of today. And as far as music based, like, what was your first introduction for you as an artist into the music industry?
Well, me as an artist, man, it's so crazy. I have a lifetime band. I can't talk about who I wrote for.
Okay.
When I was on the East Coast, and they actually, two of the songs were like big songs. And, you know, I didn't know much about the business, but I did write some stuff when I was on the East Coast because I was living in Virginia because I was in the Navy. And so I had two friends from Rockaway, New York.
Okay.
Benny Raoul, you know, Benefiel Raoul. And he would bring me to New York. And he was like, you know, you on this ship with all this freestyling, man, I'm going to bring you to the home of it. And so he would bring me up to New York, man, and something happened up there that was very detrimental to me. I was freestyling up there, right? And you know, New York cats, man, that's where it come from. And you know, one of them was like, "Man, you nice," and I was like, "Thank you, man, I appreciate it." Where you from? You know how they used to talk. Where you from?
Where you
kid?
from? Yeah, where you from?
Yeah, where you from, kid? I said, "Man, I'm from New Orleans." They was like, "Man, that's just murder and Mardi Gras. Y'all don't have no rap down there." And that stuck with me, and I always promise. I say, I promise you, when I get on, I'm gonna be back, and you're gonna remember this, you know. And then right after that, was when Andre got booed when he said the South got something to say.
Say the Source Awards.
And yeah, and so that put me in the frame of mind like I want to be part of the South's come up, and I know I was different because I learned that, my style was more East Coast, but with a down South dialect. And so friend of mine was doing, from Louisville, was going to the studio. And in that studio, man, Jay-Z was coming through that studio, this in Virginia.
Okay.
Tretch from Naughty by Nature, I would see him. And so it was my motivation, man, to finally say, you know what, I'm gonna do this, in unforeseen circumstances, and I'm not proud of it. Some people wear this as a badge, but I'm not proud of it. I got put out the military 3 days before I got out for drug distribution. And so I went to the university, as they say, in Leavenworth, Kansas, if anybody know what I'm talking about, the university.
Okay.
Yes. And so once I came home, my thing was I had time to sit. So, it was writing raps. And when I got home, it was like, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. LL was my idol, LL, Just Ice.
Okay.
That's why people always say, man, you never had gold in your mouth. You always had platinum. I said, that's from Just Ice, and people say, why you spell? K Solo was one of my favorite artists.
Okay. Mr. Spellbound.
And the darkness that my music has sometimes, a lot of the feeling stuff that people love me for, it come from Scarface, Mr. Serv On. And so that was my beginnings. In high school, I used to sit with a friend of mine before I would dance, Frank Jackson, who now his nephew is Jaron Jackson Jr. that played for Memphis All-Star.
Okay.
We used to take the end of the Fat Boys song where they had the instrumental and take a double cassette. I'm telling my age, a double cassette, and take and extend it and then rap on it. Hopefully we can freestyle at the high school dance. So, those were my beginnings, man.
Nice. You took us down a very interesting memory lane there. Now, when you came back from the university and you was setting, what was the first move that you had to do, or what was the first move you did towards music? Like, I know you was hitting the studio, but how was that transition? Because it ain't easy.
At first, I was trying to get on. My cousin's husband was a big manager, and I rapped for him, and I tongue twist rap. You know what I'm saying? And spell shit. K Solo style. And so he was like, "That's not gonna work in New Orleans, because New Orleans was a lot of bouncing. You had maybe a few rappers, which was some of my idols. Tim Smooth, Bust Down, MC Dart from 3-9 Posse." And what happened was, they were big 3-9 Posse. And I decided to challenge, the old way of rap. You know what it is, come from New York. I challenged MC Dart at because I played basketball before. When I was in the Navy, I was all Navy basketball. And so, so I was at this school, Southern University in New Orleans, taking music because I kind of was doing stuff in the streets where the Serv On name came from, not drugs. I was on a different level, you know what I'm saying? I was, before they was in Atlanta talk about scammers, I did that a long time ago, man. I was one of the reasons, and I'm not proud of it. One of the reasons people had to show the ID to write a check. I was at it that hard, man. And so, my friend felt like, man, you need to go to school. They're gonna kill you out here, because some things I got into. And so I challenged Dart, and he was like, all right. He bust my note, you know what? And he said, when drop me off to the studio. And when he dropped me off, I'd walk in there, and it was a guy with long braids, man, light color eyes, sitting behind the board. And I look up, that was DJ KLC. And so KLC told me, rap for me. So he said, rap. He said, give me 16 bars, right? So I just rapped, and he said, stop, bro, you can't rap. And I looked at him, and I was like saying to myself, I had about $3,000-$4,000 in my pocket. I'm like, I'll buy your life. You know what I'm saying? Really, I was that mad, right? And he was like, no, I'm not saying you don't know how to rap. I told you rap 16 bars. I just said it and count. You rap 52. I'm like, I don't know what bars are.
Okay.
And he taught me how to situate songs, and then him and I became close. And DJ KLC, if people don't know who I'm talking about, multi-platinum DJ KLC that produced, after Mother Hitters, niggas or
Yes,
whatever. I'm about it, make them say, move, bitch. All the Soldier Slim early stuff, and that was,
classical
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
that was my guy, man. And so, that was my beginnings with him, because UNLV, my younger guys off the corner, Six and Baron, where I'm from, they was the first money makers at Cash Money. They was the ones. That was the ones before everybody, and so they were on, and baby and I grew up, playing basketball, AAU, football, everything. And so I wanted to get at him, but I ended up by KLC first.
Okay.
And that was the beginning for me.
Now the climate in New Orleans at the time, like musically in the streets, I could take that it was a hard moment in life. How did you transition from your situation and also street life to really buckle down to this music
Well,
thing?
KLC was like, man, look, you can't come around me doing what you're doing. And and that bothered me, and I was just like, you know what? And I have a daughter at the time who was still in Virginia, and it was just like, man, I want this. But then some things happened in the street life that I did, and they came to my mother house at 5 in the morning. And the street rules, don't ever bring your beef to your mother's doorsteps.
Yes.
And so, that's when we had met P and things like that, doing Jack the Rappers, when Luke and Det was fighting. And, we met P. We was actually up there shopping a demo to meet Jermaine Dupri, my first song, Gotta Get My Serve On, that a lot of people like. And once we got with P, when that incident happened, I called P, and P was like, look, y'all come on up here, man. You make it to the morning. If you can make it to the morning and still alive in the morning, you got a plane ticket waiting for you. And for me, it was just like sleep at the airport. I had a couple of my dudes and my brother make sure mom's house was straight, and they told me, leave, just leave right now. And so I ended up going up to California with Pete. And so once I got up there, it was basketball and rap, mostly rap. So that was my way of out the streets. Me, KL, and Mia X went up to do work with Pete.
With P. And at that time when you went to do work with P, what was their height level at the time? Like because I know there was a moment where No Limit was like boom in your face. You could not avoid it. It was there. Where was that
No, at,
gauge when
at,
you?
no, we were coming, man. It was. We got up there, and P had an album that I think still one of the best albums he ever done, next to Ghetto D. One of my favorites was Ghetto Trying to Kill Me. And he was doing this thing up there, man, and he had to deal with Priority. And that's when he started, and I'm About It, which a lot of people don't know was my track originally. And P rapped on it for a commercial, and Priority went crazy over it, the sound, and the new sound in P, because P was he was real, like, sound like, from the Bay. He had a Bay rap style. And once we got up there, you could see him changing. And once he did that I'm About It, it next thing you know, now Downside Hustlers coming and getting done, and that took off. Then About It movie took off. So we was like in that pre get big stage. And then I hate to say this, we started coming and coming, and he put out Ice Cream Man, and Ice Cream Man got bigger, and we just started growing. And then right as we was starting to get to that point, you know, first it was, Pac lost his life
Yeah.
tragically. Then Biggie lost his life. So now we in the middle, we coming. And so both coasts are reeling. You know what I'm saying? They within their personal beefs, where we just was working hard. And I remember the thing that hit hard, that made me know that we was coming. We had a show in Gun Arena in Cleveland with West Side Connection and Scarface. And I remember we were standing on the side of the stage, and Face is my idol. And they had security move everybody. And it was like, damn, that's fucked up, man. But we love Face, it's cool. But when we hit that stage, P was like, we gonna kill it. It was a personal thing. We was gonna kill it. And when we went up there, this is when I knew it was us. It was our time. We killed the stage, and even when West Side Connection came on, they were still screaming "No Limit," and it was one of them
Wow.
moments like a movie, you know. And the sad part about that, excuse me, uh, Hatton lost his life, right? And that morning we were in the airport, and that morning, the next morning, and then we found out Biggie lost his life that night.
That night, March
Yeah,
9th.
and so which kind of really messed me up, you know, messed all of us up, you know, and things like that. But then when you look at it, there we stood, you know, and it was that time for us.
Gotcha, talk. Gotcha. You blew my mind. You blew my mind real quick with that was your record.
Yeah, I'm about it. I'm about it
Yeah, I'm
was
about
actually
it. Was
a
your record.
record. And if you listen to him about it, when he's saying the different states, right?
Yeah.
I have another song. If you go listen to "Throw Your City Up," KL did another beat for me similar with that tempo, and you could hear me saying those states, right? And so, because that was gonna be the same stuff that I was gonna put on that
That
song.
song.
And so, but I mean, I look at it as teamwork. You know,
Yeah.
the people heard P on it, and he was like, "Look, man, let me get that. Go ahead, do what you got to do, because he already had blessed us so much, man.
I
Like,
respect.
you know, fine, you know." And it was the same thing with Make Him Say, that was my soldier beat for my second album, The Next Level. And you know, I was, you know, because at No Limit, you had to turn in 28 to 30 songs in 2 weeks, or your album couldn't come out. And so, you know, I was finishing up that, and my daughter was born. My second daughter, she was being born. So I left, and when I came back, P had did the hook, make him say na na over that, and that was, and him being him, he was just like, yo, I said, do your thing, man.
Do your
It's no
thing.
problem, because we gonna win. It's team concept, man. Movements win everything, and that's what I tell young artists. If you look at, I'll break it down real quick. If you say Rough Riders, DMX,
Yeah.
so DMX, you say Rough Riders, right? You hit Cash Money, you're Juvenile. You hear Master P, you hear No
No
Limit.
limit.
Snoop Dogg, That Road, Pop, Snoop, That Road.
Yeah.
But I want people to understand what I'm saying. Movements make the game. You get what I'm saying? You might have had one artist that was hot, but that movement of all the collective artists as a team,
That's what does
you
it.
know, what I'm saying? Those the ones that made history. And so for me, it never bothered me, or whatever, because he was making sure my dreams come through. And look, he wanted to do that song. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. And the rest is history.
Now, that moment, and you saw the crowd screaming "No Limit," and that was kind of like the turning point, or the threshold. Like, we have arrived. That there was a moment where No Limit was at the top of a pinnacle. How was life for you, musically and personally? Because some people have a hard time transitioning into that limelight. So how was that transition for you personally?
Man, when I say this, a lot of artists on here gonna be like, "Man, you crazy," because God bless. I pray all artists on here watching get to that level. I want you to get to that level. But for me, I was such a private person. I never liked the limelight, and a lot of artists have to understand that when you get to a certain level, it sounds crazy, but the fans own you. You don't own you. And I used to have issues with that. If I was spending time with my family and guys would walk up, we were so big, they'll walk up while I'm meeting with my family, and they're like, "Oh man, back then it was autographs. Give me an autograph." I say, "Okay, give me a minute, man. Let me, before you leave out, I got you." And they would get mad, I get upset. Guys would be disrespectful. I got into fights in Walmart, man. And it got to a point where I just kind of started staying away from it. But then, I had, when I did the song with Pun, me and Fat Joe talk, who's a real one, man. And I was in New York, and he was like, "Look, y'all there, man." He said, "Deal with it." He said, "Just like you dealt with life and the streets and everything else to get here, deal with the light and the fame. He said, you got a choice. You fought hard to get here. Now, what if you don't have that?
That's real.
And so And then I look at something Pac said in one of my favorite songs, Unconditional Love. He said, after the license scream scatter, only my dreams matter. But beforehand I had dreams, and then I'm there and I had to learn how, Jay-Z just said in the song about, people want to take pictures, paparazzi, whatever, man, F it, deal with it. That's light work. And I went through that part where, because I would get in trouble with P, man. P cared about it so much, he kept eyes on us, right? And me and Corey Miller, C Murder, Free C, Innocent Man, we would constantly go to New Orleans, and if people say, "Oh man, we don't ever see them," we showing up wherever you was at, to let you see us.
Yeah.
And so, P would be like, "Man, y'all got to stop that, man, y'all." And it was like, for me, I wanted to just continue being me. That's the problem I used to have until I thought about it and had that talk with Fat Joe, where it was just like, because I used to just want to be me, drive
you.
around, go where I want to go, do what I want to do. I even had a dude one day said, "What's up, sir?" I said, "Man, how you doing?" And he was like, "Man, I buy your album. You can't just stop and talk." I said, "What you talking about?" Threw my CD out the window. And this was a moment that I know I had to really calm down, because I actually ran in my car, got in my car, chased him. Man, it had to be all through the city, and I had to catch myself like, this is not the way. I got to learn how to deal with this. And it was hard, man, because I wasn't tripping on the females, because I was always in a relationship or married. So I wasn't really tripping on the female thing, or all that with the dudes around me. When I went somewhere, I went by myself or with two of my guys. And, I just had to learn to deal with it. It was hard. It
It
was
was hard.
hard because because I just like, I'm the type, man, if I want to get up and go to Walmart, man, and I got shorts on and a
I just
t-shirt
want
and
to
some
go and
flip
do what I
flops,
gotta do.
and then I start realizing what comes with it. Because then if you walking through that, man, he looking bad. His money must not be right. So, I started learning rules that Pete taught me, man. Look, come outside when you're right. You doing what you got to do. Let everything come to you, and you'll be okay. And that's it. So it was hard dealing with the fame and the limelight, because we were so huge. You
Yeah.
know, I had people, man. My cameras went off, and had my people jumping in my gate, and my dogs got at them. They wasn't coming to harm me. They wanted to give me their
They
music.
they just wanted to
You
get
know.
next to you, get close.
Yeah. And so my first marriage went it was bad because the fame thing, man. And so I mean, it's but it's the gift and the curse. But I'll tell young people that's watching, go for it.
Go for it.
Just be grounded and structured. When you see it taking off and it's coming, because it's gonna come when you don't know. But just be ready for it.
That's
You know
real.
what I'm saying? And that's the best I could tell you, because it's a lot. And
No,
today and age, the internet,
it's even
I,
more. It's even more now,
I,
right?
man, look, I pray for these young dudes, man. I thought I didn't have no privacy. This internet, man, is different, but just be ready for it. Be structured, man. Have your home life together. Make time for your kids, no matter what. Handle your business. Always do what you got to do. And understand that you're what your fans make you. So make time for them sometime.
I
And take a picture with them, man. Talk to an inspiring artist that's looking up to you. You don't have to talk for 30 minutes, but the one thing I could say, and we can move on, is remember, to my young artists out there, see that word, keeping it real in the hood? That's the worst thing that ever happened. That phrase right there, because I was like that, going in the hood and buying up the bar and this, that, and that, and that. And dudes still talked about me behind my back out of jealousy, man. And I lost a few friends that way. So, I tell people, man, just get ready for it, structure yourself, be on your business, because understand you might have a 5-year window of success. And then the test gonna come whether you can maintain them and other stuff.
That's real, and thank you for that. Thank you for not only keeping it authentic, but giving that advice. I don't think a lot of artists that are on hear that to
Yeah.
its purity of the truth in that. You know what I mean? Like you said, this might sound crazy, and it sounds more actual and more sane
Hmm.
and real the way you just delivered it. On the flip side, I know, the bigger than life feeling, and being on stage, and we have a lot of artists here on right now. What was that feeling and sensation that when you're on stage and you see 40,000 people
Hmm.
chanting and jumping in arenas? I could imagine it sounding like an earthquake happening.
Yeah.
Like, take us to that moment in your life, or a memorable moment, like said, in your life.
Okay. I'll say this. As an artist, man, I don't know how a lot of young people dream out there. They might, the young generation, and I'm not casting anything, some do feel this way. They want the money, the cars, the lights, and everything. For me, I wanted to look. I used to watch Michael Jackson concerts and they crying about him and everything, man. I'm like, that's crazy, man. How artists, got him like that, losing their mind. And then I watch us at our height, and I'm watching dudes take their shirt off and got TRU tatted on them. You know what I'm saying? Dudes got our names tatted on them, our faces tatted on them. And but the most beautiful thing, man, forever for artists, and I want every artist to experience this. When you're in the arena and everybody know your lyrics better than you, dog, that's the most first time it happened for me. Chicago was a strong place for me,
Okay.
and so we was at the Rosemont and on the west side, and my album Life Insurance just came out, and I go on early, but it was packed early. That's how big we were. It wasn't no early empty seats. If they said be there at 7, people was there at 6:30. We doing our run, and I'm in there, I'm performing, man, and I'm like, okay, and I stopped for a minute, and I can honestly say, man, I had tears rolling down my face because I know everything I went through, and all I dreamed of people just hearing me. You know what I'm saying? I wanted them to hear my lyrics. I wanted them to understand it, and then say them to me. I know you might not scream and pass out for me like you do for Michael Jackson, but when I stood there for a minute, man, and the song I was doing was Heaven Is So Close, and I'm watching them sing the words, bro, and it was like, man, everything I went through, everybody I lost, man, every pain I ever
Wow.
felt, it was like it all came, to being like, man, I did something. I am something, and that's the most beautiful thing, man, when you looking down and they know your words and they looking at you, you saying your words to them, they saying your lyrics back to you, and it just hypes you up. It makes you feel like, man, yeah, I make money. Yeah, I got cars. I got the house. I got jewelry on. All that BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this right here, this this a feeling, man, like having my child, having a child, one of my kids being born, because I'm like, man, I did something with my life. And the fans, that's why I always tell the fans, y'all, you guys are who made us. I am what you made me, because no matter what problems I might have and whatever might be going on and the stress, when I get on that stage, man, and I learned that from KRS-One when I saw him in Virginia once, and he said, "Man, this is my kingdom. Do not step here. Do not touch. Don't jump on here. This is my throne. This is my kingdom." And I felt like a king. And that feeling is what I wish for every rap artist, man. And when you meet people also, when they walk up to you and tell you, thank you, man, your song Heaven Is So Close, man. I lost my grandmother. I lost my father. I didn't want to be here, but I listened to your song. And those things right there, man, that's why I always tell fans, and I don't like using the word fans, excuse me. I always call them family,
Mm.
because I don't call them groupies, I don't call them supporters, I call them family because they're the reason. The little guy that could have got a 48 pack of Pampers, right? He went got 24 so he could get our CD. The little guy with the one speaker and the cutlass, man, that stood in line to get our music. The
Get your
female
music.
that stood in line, man, that to come into our concert, man, and save money to get their outfit to come to our concert. They're the reason we are who we are, and I want young artists to never forget that. Because if you stay selfish about yourself as an artist and make music for yourself, you're not gonna make it. But if you make music for the masses and let them get into who you are, the beautiful reward you're gonna get is what I got with my tears rolling down my face, man. Like they saying my words, bro.
That's that's
They
that's powerful right there.
that's and then I think a more sobering moment was we was in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I don't do the racism thing, man. That's a coward's disease. But we coming into Salt Lake, we like, man, who gonna be at our concert out here, right? And I remember walking through the airport, and the only two black people I saw two black people. They were shining shoes, right?
Wow.
And Peter type, he just put money, gave him a bunch of money, and kept walking, And we got to the arena, and we're seeing all these white people, but we seeing black people. Like I didn't even know. So Utah had black people, right? And so we're in there, man, and it's sold out. And I remember C Murder saying, joking, saying, man, it's a cult, man. It's like Simon Says, and we like, nah, man, we joking.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll prove a point to you how much power we have that we take it for granted. And when he got on stage, he said, everybody in here turn around, point your middle finger. And they had police everywhere, right? And you know what I'm saying? They turned around. Then he said, about face, let's go. And they turned back around. We're talking 30,000 people. And you watching that, bro, it brings chills to you to see that, and just things we saw on the road in Charlotte. They had 10 guys that were street guys that had, big body Mercedes, and each one of them, their nameplate, their license plate had one of our names on it, and those things like that, man. And then I always said, man, we shouldn't be role models. You know what I'm saying? Your parents should be your biggest hero. But I learned to be able to know. I could tell a kid, man, do your homework, man, go to school, man, respect your mother, apologize to your mother, and they do it instantly. And it's a lot, man. So to my young artists out there, you have a responsibility. Enjoy the moment, take it all in, respect your listeners, your fans, your family, but at the same time, know your responsibility and enjoy this. Because you have the gift and the curse with it, man.
You do.
You got the bad parts, but you have the beautiful parts, man.
You do.
Mhm.
Miss Jackson said her nephew got about it tattooed on him.
Yeah, I know, man,
It's
and that's the thing.
tattooed on him.
But you know, sir,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. Honestly, we were so humble and so hard at work. You know what I'm saying? Because we outworked everybody. We didn't understand how big we really was. And this might sound crazy. You might say, well, dog, I was doing concerts in front of 40, 50,000 people. We didn't really look at our influence. Me and KLC said this one day until social media started. And you would see guys come up and say, man, Serv, you're a legend. And I'm like, huh? Who you talking to? Like, we didn't understand the impact until we was open to the whole world. Because we looked at it. We didn't look at it. We didn't party. We didn't do after parties. We came to your city to dominate. Yep, to dominate. Even in the early days, man, we did something that artists would never do. I ain't saying they wouldn't do it today, but I wouldn't tell them take a chance because the climate different. Even though it was hard and real in the streets back then, even more so. We used to walk through the crowd. We didn't come through the back door. We walked through the crowd to the stage. And we'll let them see us and let them know we in your city. We here. You know what I'm saying? And and that was our thing. We come to your city and we dominate. We want to be talked about when we gone. And so, that was it, man. And that's what I want young artists to understand, this thing of ours. It's a beautiful thing, man. And the money is for your family. Man, you guys out there, please understand the money for your family, man.
I hear that.
The music is for you, man. When you're home, relax, spend time with your family, but work when nobody else working. And that was Pete's thing. We used to idolize Puffy and Nas video with the tigers in the cage.
Okay.
And P was like, okay, y'all excited about that. He said, okay, that video costs $1 million. I'm gonna shoot 10 for 100,000. You'll see. And the method to his madness. And he used to tell us, while they partying, we gonna work and watch it. Give us a year. Let's see who gonna be winning. And within a year, 2 years, we was on top. And those that we used to admire them partying, they was looking up.
They was looking. What's interesting? As you talking, almost every rap group or label, you've seen the picture of them in the parties. You've seen them on their off time. As you're talking, I can't pinpoint a moment where I see like y'all in the club and
No,
bottles everywhere. I can't like I'm going as you were talking. I'm like in my head like that's real. Like there
man.
I don't see.
I try. Let me tell you something. I used to try, but I used to do it for my dudes, right? My guys I grew up with, man. Go to the club, and you know how the game gonna be, man. Females gonna come around because I am who I am, and I let them enjoy that, man. Because it just didn't feel like it wasn't me. That wasn't who he raised us to be. You know, people in New Orleans, I used to hit the clubs and stuff, but they didn't even know why. A lot
gotcha.
of times they used to pull up in the cars that I had, so I wanted them to see that. I wanted them, and I would talk to dudes, man. Oh, that's nice there. I'm like, nah, you could do the same thing, man. Get up out the streets, man. Get up out, leave this alone, dog. That, what I'm saying. That being that judged by six, judged by 12, carried by six, man. That's for the birds, man.
Yeah.
Leave that alone, man. And I tried, but it wasn't me. If you would have saw me back in the club back then, you see my dudes having fun with bottles and doing this, and you would see me in the corner with one of my guys who didn't drink, didn't do none of that, and we would just sit there and watch and smile at my dudes having fun because they've been in the hood all their life,
Yeah.
So but that wasn't me. That wasn't how P raised us, We didn't worry about the parties. Trust me, I went to a lot
Yeah,
of different things, but
of course
yeah.
enjoyed yourself, but that wasn't the all in.
Nah, man, enjoyment to me was the studio, my kids, man, and I was into, just my house and beautiful, just things like that because my mother worked 3 jobs to raise me by herself. My father was murdered when I was 4, and so my thing was just to make sure my family was good. That's why I always tell artists, your money for your family, man. But
Yeah.
the legacy and the legendary that you gonna make, you know what I'm saying? That's for you. Go be a legend, man. Go be, one of my favorite movies, Troy, when the little young man asks Achilles, I'd be scared to fight that big soldier, right? And he said, nobody ever remember you,
Yep.
and that's how I feel about, man. I'm forever in history, and that's what I set out to do. The money and stuff and that, man, that's for my family, man. But we just never was partiers, man, at No Limit. I might have went to the club and all that stuff, but I was boring in the club, bro. You wasn't gonna catch me popping bottles and shaking champagne on people, man. I would just sit in the corner, man, with my favorite drink, Hennessy and Heineken, call it a 1-and-1, and I would just chill. I wasn't even a champagne drinker, dog. This was me,
Gotcha.
man.
I want to share like just to reiterate the impact that you made. The last time me and you got to chop it up on the A&R desk, there was like 3 people that I haven't spoken to in probably 14, 15 years.
Hmm.
That just happened to come on the live, and my phone rings right after the live, and they're like, "How you know him?" And I'm like, "What you talking about? Like, how you know him? That's crazy. I can't believe." And they were astonished that they were watching a conversation on the show. And I'm like, "Yeah, man, it was a dope show." And they were like, "Nah, do you understand what just happened?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I was talking with the brother." And they were like, "No, you don't get it." And that right there just shows, like you mentioned, the impact that
Yeah.
your journey has affected into others.
And that's and sometimes I used to be upset when P used to want us to stay to ourselves, but he wanted us to stay family, because we stayed tight knit. We was different. You didn't have the jealousy as artists around like you see today. We really was family. And so a lot of times we spoke to people. We might have dealt with a few people, but we stayed to ourselves. And so when people do, hey man, I know him, or do an interview with me or whatever, it's like, whoa, what I'm saying? That's him. Because we really stayed to ourselves, man. And that's the gist of it, because our job was to work. Our job was just to, we looked at it as a 9 to 5, bro. Our job was come to studio in the morning, make sure your family good, be in studio by 11. You know what I'm saying? Whoever doing the album, if you was doing your album, I had to be there. Everybody had to be there to support you. About 4 o'clock, we went and played basketball as a family, exercise, whatever, whatnot. Then we came back, man. Everybody went home, took a shower, came back. You was back by the studio for 6, and you was there for the rest of the night, even if it wasn't your album.
You
You
was
know what I'm
there.
saying? Because we believed in a circle, not let nothing break that circle. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
dig that.
and we didn't let outsiders in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we still all have our own homies outside of No Limit.
Yeah,
You know
of
what I'm
course, of
saying?
course.
But we got to them when we got to them because we had a job to do. And our job was to bring the South up, put New Orleans on first and foremost, and to make sure our families be good, man.
And you did that gracefully and most definitely succeeded. Now, you came through the music industry at a time where it is completely different from now. How
Yeah.
was the transition into like the stream era of the internet? Because not even just the stream era, like the internet era of the music business. How was that transition for you? And did you find conflict in it?
No, the only conflict I found in it was because I knew, we saw it coming, you know, because, a lot of times in contracts, right? You saw contracts around 2000 or so. If you got a contract like one, when I, stepped away from No Limit and I had, deal offers and stuff, I noticed something that when I thought about it, when all this popped up, bro, I'm like, they knew already. The industry knew already. They made deals already because usually in a contract it have like audio, they have the rights and their percentage on audio, this, that, and that. And then I noticed in the contract, and I went found the old contract, and they had also such as future digital, but you never pay like digital. What
Yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't think to act. So the music business knew it was coming, and because even with streaming right now, the little pennies that they give you for streaming, trust me, you know what I'm saying? The FCC and all them that owns all of this stuff with the deals. They, the major labels still get piece of that, a nice piece. They make more than you, even if if they're distributing your stuff. It's just all like according to how the digital streaming situation is. And we saw it. I started seeing it because you got to remember, if I wanted to send you some music, I had to overnight it FedEx, right?
Yep.
Then guess what started happening? Emails,
Email.
and next thing you know, you get emails, music, and you start seeing it that everything was on the computer for you now
Yep.
because
Yep.
now all of it's on the computer.
No more
And I
reel to
think my
reels.
transit, yep, my transition was easier because marketing was my major in school, and I love marketing. I came from under the greatest marketer hustler ever, Pete. So I understood marketing, and what I understood first with the streaming era and everything online and everything was you have to be a brand like Coke and Pepsi. For all my artists out there, you're not just a rap artist. You're a brand like Coke and Pepsi, and if you market yourself as such,
Yes.
you will win. And what I mean by that, to give them an example real quick, if you walk in a grocery store and they got a display of the new cherry Coke, right? You're gonna see that display by the apples. Then you're gonna walk further in the store and you might see another display in front by the meat. Then you're gonna walk further and you're gonna see it by the cereal. Now, by the time you get to that register, near that register, you're gonna grab a 2 liter cherry Coke, even though you might not even drink cherry Coke. But as you seeing it so much, you
That's
get
real.
what I'm saying? That's what I want these young artists to understand.
Marketing at its
And
finest.
you're a brand like Coke and Pepsi. You have to continue, making sure people see you and hear you. And that's what I think that the transition for me, I was a private person. That was probably the hardest, because people would tell me, like, still, they fuss at me today, well, you don't go live. And every once in a while I go live, man. But it's like I've established myself, this for the younger artists out there. You have to understand you are a brand like Coke and Pepsi. Market yourself as such, and then know the business, man. Understand the business. You can manipulate, and I'm talking about buying streams. You know what I'm saying? You could put yourself in positions where people seeing you on your page and seeing you on other people's page
Yes.
and seeing you in other people's situations, and you have to put music out. You have to put content out.
You have
Every
to
day
work.
you see every day you see a commercial, say a Vicks commercial, Vicks Vapor Rub, right? You see it every day during the winter time, right? Because it's cold season, right? So if the summer coming, summer is the money making part of the season for music. Why do I not see with these young artists a clip of your music, a clip of your video all through the summer, every day, all day? Learn the peak hours of the internet. The
Yes.
internet has in the algorithm, they have peak hours. You know what I'm saying? People get up in the morning, they don't even kiss for their husband. They go straight to social media. So 7 to 10, that's a peak hour. 12 to 2, when people on their lunch break, what they got in their hand, their phone. You know what I'm saying? 4 to 6 when they get home, 6 o'clock. You know, at night from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And then you got your night hours. So you should be putting stuff up constantly,
Yeah.
through those peak hours, and learning how to have all your pages under the same name on
Yes.
every
That's, oh
social
man.
media
I
site.
stress that all the time.
And that's for me, the transition was easy because marketing was my major. I love marketing, and then I was taught by the best, how to market and how to say I'm going. We I hate to say it, we looked at the rap game as the legal dope game.
Yeah. I get it.
And but for the people that don't get it, anybody out there that probably sold dope, and I'm not, I'm glad y'all don't do it no more in y'all artists, but y'all know how the game go. If I got uncut 7 grams over here, and I'm giving it to you for 250, 350, right? Or 350, say 350, right? You know what I'm saying? But he got it stepped on over there, and he giving it to you, for 450 or whatever. Who you gonna come to?
Yep.
You coming to me.
Straight up.
And that's the same way your music should be. And the thing is to always not just recoup your money, it's to double and triple your money. You know what I'm saying? And you put your money to the best. I'm not gonna give you nothing in aluminum foil. I'm gonna have some nice plastic bags. Might have a little skull on it or something. You know what I'm saying? My
Packaged very well.
packaging is everything. And
Yes.
it goes back to that. If you're a hustler, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you're a true hustler, like a lot of rappers say, think about the rap game as the legalized dope game.
Yep.
It's the
Same
same
thing.
thing, man.
When I
Because don't you want customers? You want fans,
you off
right? And you want to give them that A1 so they could keep coming to
come
you.
in.
You give them A1 music and they always can contact you and see you on the internet. That's the same as when you up all night and they call you and say, man, I'm trying to get a $20 bag of weed. Okay, where you at?
Where you at?
I got it for you.
I got where you
You
at?
know, and so it's the same
Same.
concept, man.
It is.
Yep, you invest your money, you want to double, triple your money, you gonna re-up, you know what I'm saying, with some of that flip money. It's the same thing.
It's the
You know
same
what I'm
thing.
saying? The
When I
concept.
was getting managed, just pursuing artistry, my logo is my face, and my manager was like, "Yo, we got a package. We need our stamp. We got a pack," and that was the whole thing between my logo. We mimicked having a stamp, like if we were stamping
Yeah.
drugs, we had to have
Yeah.
a stamp, and that was our whole thing, our whole approach to the
And that says it's
music.
yours. Like you
Yes.
know what this is. Like the movie Blue Magic with the in the
Yeah,
movie with the,
American
yeah,
Gangster.
you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Yeah, American Gangster. It's like your music has to have that stamp. You know what I'm saying? I even tell, like, people used to say, man, why C Murder always say his name in the song or when they come on? I said because he wants you to remember. So
Straight.
if he come on, I'm C Murder, but you gonna remember. You gonna know. You gonna that name gonna stay in your mind the same way P did with About It. People don't know the genius of him. What he did with About It was two things he did, man, and I want people to pay attention because you could do it today in a different way. What he did was he would give us money and give us each about 10 t-shirts and give us like $300-400, and he said, go find, homeless people, give them that About It t-shirt, get him $50, right? And then I'm gonna show you what I mean by that, right? When you pull up to a light, right, you might see a homeless person, correct, right? Now imagine they got that I'm About It t-shirt on. And on the radio, you hearing I'm About It, the commercial. And you go in the club and you hearing it. What did it do to your mind?
That's right. Left that mark. That's
It, and it stayed in your mind,
yep.
and then when they had the box, if I knew you, I'm gonna call you and say, how much you this is what he used to tell us to do. How much was your phone bill back then? You might wear a landline, so you might say, man, about $70. I'm gonna give you $300, 70 to pay you put 100 in your pocket, and then I want you to order About It all day, every day
Every
in New
day.
York, right? So now when you sitting down, everybody waiting for the next person video, but you just ordered them about it all day, right? And so people might say, well, damn, how you gonna get the money back if he didn't pay this and that and that? They go and buy the CD. There's
Yeah.
such a thing as on TV. So that was the first things of publishing outside on the radio. So he gonna make that money back 4 times, 10 times, 15 times over.
Yes.
These were the
It's long
marketing
run.
things
It
that
was
he
long
did.
run concept
Yeah,
of the goal. It wasn't the short term. It
yeah.
was the long
Source
run.
magazine, Source magazine. Benzino them. We got over on Benzino them. It was not in a bad way. A spread used to be 12,000. You remember, right?
Yes.
So what P would do was put on one page his album, and then on the other page about all six of us our albums. So now if you think about it, that's seven. That's really 7 pages, right? So that's 7 times 12 should have been 84,000, but we only paid 12 because we took the spread and it had the rules. We could put whatever we want in there. So we promoted 7 albums for that 112,000 instead of having to pay 84,000 for it. These are the things, man, and that's what I try to tell guys that I hope listening to out there. You guys are smart, man. You guys are intelligent. Be businessmen first, and you won't be a gangster later. But I promise you, if you be a businessman now,
You won't have to
this
do.
music, you'll never be a gangster
You won't.
again.
Yep. You'll never.
The only thing you're gonna be gangster about is your family,
That's right.
and that's about it, man. And you gotta start using. Y'all gotta start because this younger generation that I know watching, they the most innovative and creative generation, dog.
Yeah. They really.
They 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 are they geniuses, man. They got the wrong structure.
Yeah.
It's like I want to be a star on the internet, but you make music. You want to be you want to be everywhere. You want to be felt everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think they waste more time beefing and with mess than pushing
That
their music.
pushing their music. That's true. Speaking of like, making those mistakes or adjustments, everybody on the show we ask this question, just to get a perspective. And the Serv On that you are now, if you could look back to the younger Serv On at any stage in your life with everything you know now, what would you share with yourself?
To be stop being not be so quiet, be have more of a voice in pushing of what you wanted. Like I was the type of P shot one video for my album, knowing I wanted another one. I used to just be like, man, I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. Move on to the next. Even with business, you know what I'm saying? I would have been more voice, boisterous with my voice and aggressive in my business, and saying take the chance, and I think that's what would have, been. I would say, man, like now, man, my kids say it, I'm an awesome father. Back then, I wish I'd have been a better father, family man, because I was like, look, y'all got time. Daddy going to get this. I didn't have my structure like I'm telling the young people, like, yeah, do your music. You got shows popping, but as soon as you touch home, get with your family, enjoy your family, give your kids time. I felt like once I come home, hey, let me get some rest because I got to go back out. Daddy gonna take y'all somewhere, whatever. And before I know it, I'm coming home, and I never saw none of my kids take their first steps. I come home, they walking. And so I would just tell myself to be more structured. And I was military, so I should have known to be more disciplined, and then to be more aggressive with my career. Because you never get those times back. And that's to my people out there. When things popping for you, man, go do a second video, man. Do every interview. Take advantage of all these platforms. Because if we would have had these platforms back then, dear God, you know what I'm saying?
Everywhere. Flood the
Quick.
market.
I don't care if you think, dude, I only got 50 people. We got our own media now. Yeah, platforms such as yours and all the other ones, that's our own media. Man, take advantage of it. Do every interview you possibly can. Constantly keep concepts and take it from the school of LeBron James. If you got 4 dudes around you, I don't care if they shooters. Nah, they ain't shooters tonight. They
Yeah.
better have an iPhone in there when you're in studio, filming you, doing what you got to do, asking you a few questions and putting that content up. And have one of them that could go get at radio, go get at DJs in the clubs, go, try to get you shows and whatever, whatnot. Let them be a shooter if that time ever come. But your fellas hanging around you is not just hang around. You get in business with them.
Something to do. Yes.
Yeah, you make them help you along the way, and that's the things I would have did because and then last thing, you cannot save the world financially.
Oh man.
I tried to save everybody, at one time, and I thought about it, man. Later, one of my family members called me the bank, and that shit really hurt my feelings. Like,
Wow.
damn, that's what I am, and I tried to all the homies and everything. And the crazy part, when I took my little fall, even though I was still fine, but the same ones that I took to LA, to Miami, to the Super Bowls and this, that, and that was like, man, if you wouldn't have been in the hood so much, bro, you wouldn't have took your fall. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and so you have to. That's where the keeping it real thing. I would have said, you know what, money is for my family. You know what I'm saying? And just work and do what I got to do. And that's what I would tell a younger me. That just you can't save the world. And I tried. You know what I'm saying? Anybody in my family, friends, they mamas, ex girlfriends, helping them. For nothing, no strings attached. I tried to just, people in the neighborhood when I should have concentrated on the kids and the elderly people if I was gonna help anybody,
Don't forget
and
them.
which I
Don't
did.
forget that. Yes.
Yeah, which I did with them. But I would tell you guys when y'all start making money and doing y'all thing, instead of giving you guys money, tell them go start. Let's figure out a business we could do together, and I'll put money behind that. You know what I'm saying? And you give 50% of that. And now you done help them, let him go work for it, man. Let him build, make you and him and make money together,
That's real.
and do it that way.
Teach
Don't just
teach
give
them
it.
how to fish. Don't just feed them
Yeah,
fish.
yeah, like they say, man, you teach a man how to fish, man, he'll eat forever.
Yep. That's right.
And that's the things I would tell them. Don't save the world, y'all out there, man. You try to save the world, yeah, because you got $2 million. They gave you a $2 million check. That ain't
That
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 check.
can go
That's
very
really
fast.
That's really 1.2 million because they come. It depends on what state you're in.
Yep.
That's 800,000 in taxes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't save the world, man. Because when Uncle Sam come to Men in Black, because I saw him, they not trying to hear you gave little peanut $40,000 for his car. You know what I'm saying? And whatever would not. They want it from
They
you.
want it. They want it, and they want every dime, every second's penny of it.
And they know
Everything.
every dollar you done made.
Yep.
You can hide what you want to hide. In time, they find it, man. But that's part of getting your business together and not being hardcore gangster killer that you can't be a businessman.
Yep.
You
I
know.
wanna I wanna take this time. I wanna stop the music real quick. I wanna take this time to just salute you for your journey,
Thank
and
you.
not only your journey that supersede or was before everything. I want to talk about the journey that you continue on because you keep giving out gems. If our viewers are on right now and don't follow Serv On, check his page. He's always giving out gems. He's always sparking the conversation that I don't see a lot of our legends, a lot of our pioneers doing in this industry. So I just want to take this time to salute you on this show. We know we're in the era of giving the flowers, and we say flowers die. So on our show we give honor because honor lives forever.
Thank you.
And we just here, everyone at SHU Radio at MJMG presents. We just wanted to salute you and give you your honors now while you're here and breathing and still
Yeah.
among us, giving us jewels. Before we
Absolutely.
before we go, before we go, what you got cooking? What's going on? What's in the
Man.
works? 'Cause
First,
I know there's stuff in
yeah,
the works.
man. Yeah. Well, I'll say this. Of course, my company Vibe World is coming. Vibe World means that your vibe is a beautiful vibe. No matter what you do, make the world come into your vibe. And we got our headphones that I can't really talk about in the technology, but just know for my artists out there, I'm about to help y'all make CD money again, man. You guys make money. And so, we also, we doing so much with that. And we have the sports agency, Vibe World Sports Agency. Big ups to Bryce Oliver at the Titans. A young man made the team. Lance Robinson, man, he's at Cincinnati, man. We doing pretty well with our sports agency. But I'm doing some work with a very, very special, innovative lady that's like, she's a mentor, spiritual mentor to me. Also, a great business partner and has a genius mind. And Miss Jackson, MJ, you know what I'm saying, and we're doing something big. She's got me finally to come outside. We got EP that we're working on called Sophisticated Situations. Because I want to do songs, man, to bring black love back, man, black relationships. Because the thing out there with black women and black men hate each other and all this stuff, man. I want these kids to have both of the parents in the home, man, or whatever. So we're doing something big with Sophisticated Situations.
Okay.
I'm working with an extraordinary artist that did a song with Tony Bosco, man, who I feel B more. Y'all better be ready, B more.
Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Tony.
My boo, she's beautiful voice, man. Naya, which is on my single, Let Me Be the One, my new single, which is, kind of rapping neo soul, which is pretty hot and grown. And we just had a new young lady, man, Victoria. My God, bro, Jesus, oh my God.
Okay, it's a lot going on.
Man,
it's a lot going on.
Yeah, man, and me and you got our things in the work, man. But we doing a lot, man. We coming, you know what I'm saying, and that's where we at, man. Everything is Vibe World, man. We got so much coming, and also pushing initiative of financial literacy. I'm becoming to people's city near you. My brother's keeper, we dealing with people, with depression, helping my brothers go get checked out, go talk to people, go get their medical stuff together. Because I need my brothers. I feel like it's weak if you die of lack of taking care of yourself. Your family deserve better. Go get checked out, man. You know what I'm saying? Eat better, man.
Eat better.
Let's be here.
Take
here,
your health into your hands.
Yeah, and so we're gonna make it easier for our brothers because I didn't have nobody to talk to, and I'll share this once online that I've never told nobody, man. When all the fame was where it's at, man, I sat on the side of my mama's house in a $100,000 big body Benz with 2 guns, man. Just feeling like, why should I be here? And and because I had a friend of mine knock on the window and told me, like, bro, you everything to us, man, and you always stop and talk to us. And I was talking to him every, and whatever, whatnot, and I felt better about life, and 2 weeks later, he was talking to youngsters on the corner and they were shooting at the youngsters and they killed him, and I'm saying to myself that I want to be somebody to say, you could talk to me, or I'm gonna tell you what direction to go talk, man, because black men are committing suicide, and our kids are committing suicide. So I'm really on a big thing about, getting our black men to take care of their health, go talk to somebody, and helping our single mothers. And one thing important that about, Spud, that I'm really on is do not forget the elderly, man.
Yeah.
My mother died, this year, she died of dementia. And a lot of black families don't know how to deal with that when that happens with the parent. And so, man, we can't forget our elderly. If you're a rapper out there, you talk about your hood this, your hood that, and you all this, are you taking care of the elderly in the hood? Are you making sure they're okay? Are you taking care of their history? Checking. Are you looking out for the kids, man? I don't care, go buy some tennis shoes. Go help buy some uniforms. Show me that you really love your hood. Take one of them chains off, man. Or don't go buy that $100,000 chain or stunt, and take care of your hood, man. Take care. If you're gonna call it your hood and you claiming that block, take care of that block. And that's what I'm pushing out there. And I'm not being mean. I'm just telling guys, what I'm saying, that's greatness. That's gangster. And that's what I'm on right now, man. And with Miss Jackson right now, man, what she's meant to my life, you know what I'm saying? It's been a great thing, man. She's somebody, if you're an artist out there, and you're serious, she's somebody that will fight for you as an artist and will work hard for you and with you, and so I'm happy, man. When you guys hear this EP, with my Naya, my boo, you know what I'm saying, goes Tony Bosco and Victoria, who's a beast. And I'm gonna have a song with Fiend on there. I got platinum producer Rodney and Raphael on it. CMT got some music on it. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, Spud, I could get you to go ahead and talk that New York lingo a little bit on the song.
Hey, too, man, you got my math, man. You hit me anytime, man. Hit me anytime.
I need to tell one of them on there, man. Look, girl, put on them Timberlands. Come here. And they say, put them Timbs on,
Put
baby. Put them Timbs. That's gonna be the song me and you gonna do. Girl, put them Timbs
Put the
on.
Timbs on.
Let me buy you some. Let me buy you some Timbs, baby. But
I love it, man. If anybody want to reach out to you, what's the best way to reach out to you? If they want to talk business, they curious, they got artists, however, what's the best way to get to you?
well, I'm always on Instagram, and it's me. Nobody run my pages on Mr. Serv On. They got underscores between the Mr. the Serv and on, and then No Limit Records. But also, man, my email is easy, man. You know what I'm saying? My email is real easy. 504 serv SERV at gmail.com. If you inbox me on Instagram, which I'm always on, you know what I'm saying? And that's for anything, man. Business advice, music advice, or you just need to talk and something not going right with you, I will find time to be there for you.
I respect
You know
that.
what I'm saying? The best I can, man. You know, and it doesn't matter, man. Because I just feel like we have to build that village back. But we have the village that in the black community, we have to be there to look out for each other. You know, and I want to show that rappers are not what they try to say. They try to point everything at us, that we the reason the hood is what it is and how bad it is, and you know, but I feel different, you know, and that's what I want to show. So that's how you can reach me. I find in all my inboxes and everything, my DMs or whatnot. You know, if it's work you want to do, features or whatever, whatnot, get at me.
Let's
You know
talk
what I'm
about
saying?
it. Yes, my brother. Let's get another round of applause. I wanna thank you again, man. It's always dope chopping up with you on live or behind the scenes, because we was rocking. We was rocking before the show.
Yeah. What can I say one thing?
Yeah, of
please?
course.
I've been pushing about politics with this new presidential election coming up. I want black people to start getting engaged in politics and learning and understanding. So feel free to come on my page and comment. I don't care if you for former President Donald Trump or Vice President Harris. Come learn, man. Come talk politics. You know, I want us to understand, man, what is going on with our country when it refers to us, even as rap artists, because they got a few bills that might be passed by either one of them that's going to help us get paid more and stop being cheated by the streamers if it haven't been passed or it's on the floor now. But, you know, I want you guys to get engaged in politics, man. Please learn politics. Your kids, that will help your kids' future. Understanding who you voting for and understand what congressional races is, and the president is just a figurehead. America's a corporation. Congress runs things. They say yeah or nay.
Yep.
So please understand that when you voting, man, and learn about it.
That's right. Thank you for dropping it on the close. That is something that we most definitely got to get better at as a people. So most definitely, you know, leave a comment, get the insight, dig deep into that politics, and get that understanding of what it means to you. Again, my brother, thank you for always dropping those jewels in your time, man.
Yeah.
You keep doing.
Yes.
You keep. I don't even gotta tell you, keep doing what you're doing. We gonna keep
Yes,
watching you do what you do, my brother. Thank you.
You keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're very important, man. I told you, bro. We got black media now, man.
That's right.
We got our own media.
We got
brother.
our own
You're very
media.
important. And I'm proud of you, man. So please keep doing what you're doing, because without you, hey, you know what I'm saying? Nobody get to hear our voice in our face sometime. You guys that have platforms, and I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, man. That right there is motivation to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, tired, sick, or whatever. Thank you. That right there is inspiration for the drive. So thank you again, my brother.
I appreciate you, man. And
All right.
everybody out there, God bless, man. And take care of yourself. And please work hard. Work hard. If you really want it, go get it, man. Take it. It's yours.
That's right. That's right, man. You have a good night, my brother.
Peace.
Oh, man. Shout out to everybody that's on right now. That was a super dope sit down with Serv On of No Limit Records. He dropped a lot of gems. He had a lot of stuff to share. I hope something struck you enough to take it with you on your journey. Before we go, we're going to end it with Let Me Be the One, Serv On's new record dropped by MG Presents out. But I did want to take this time to thank everybody that was on watching for the show. Again, if you came on and off, if you sat here the whole time, thank you, because just as much as he said these platforms give us stuff, these platforms are really built by us and those who support. So information cannot get relayed without the 2 points, the access point and the people for it to reach. So shout out to everybody that was on, and most definitely shout out to Mr. Serv On. And before we go into the last video of the night, Let Me Be the One by Mr. Serv On, I do want to say one thing, right? The power of pursuing your dreams, right? And I'm going to share a personal thing. I remember as a 15-year-old kid sitting on a life sentence in prison, going through the Source magazines and seeing that spread that he mentioned with the No Limit and the album covers. And every time I talk to him, I always mention the Source magazine and seeing the album covers and saying how the bigger in life. And I remember saying, man, this industry, this thing, I want to be a part of it. And I didn't know when I would be released. I didn't know when I was going to get out or how old I would be. But when I got out, I was still pursuing it. And it's interesting how life is, that I watched in the pages in live action time, him, Mr. Serv On, as well as No Limit Records, climb through this journey and this thing that I wanted to be a part of. And then right now, today, I got to sit down and conversate with him. Not only sit down and conversate with him, before this show, like, we were texting, and then I was listening to music before him, and we were chopping up. And I say that to say that sometimes your journey, no matter how far it is, don't calculate the time frame. Just keep the passion at heart, because you never know the moment where the two roads would cross. And for a example, for a true to life example, this is a true example right now of those roads crossing between fantasy and reality, where now the same man that I once watched and looked at into the precious times of this culture, I can actually conversate with, get tips from, text and talk. So I say that to say it's always possible, y'all. So dream big, never quit, and don't watch the clock. Don't watch the clock. Because you watching the clock, you might miss your shot. Thank you guys for joining the show today, man. Keep passionate, keep doing what you're doing, and support these outlets. Not just me, but support these outlets. Again, we got enough. We got enough outlets that's doing the dirt and digging and asking for the drama and the messy stuff. Like, we got enough of that. When you come across outlets like this, whether it's my show or a different show, support those, give them the ears, because we need that. We got enough noise. We got enough noise to weed through. Sometimes we just need that right conversation. So with that being said, this is Let Me Be the One, Mr. Serv On. Check it out, y'all. Leave your comments. He's on right now. Here you go.
Queen, deserve. My little sis gave me your number, and I just want to see if we can get together tonight and have a glass of wine and just talk about what could be. This love without a hook right here. We don't even need a hook. Just groove to it. Just hold each other and just talk. It's real grown up right here. Love without a hook. She say her name was glorious. Her accent was that some sexual fixation or some spiritual manifestation. Either way, we had relations, and I felt glorious after. Not because the process was faster, because I felt her pain. Felt every lie every man told before he came. I said, baby, I'm not the same. She said, nah, don't start that. Please don't give cliche a new name. I just want one of y'all to be king. Just one of y'all to retire on my team.
Can you be the one? I can be the one too. Let me in your heart.